By Grabthar's Hammer, by the Sons of Warvan. Welcome to episode 98 of the Nerd Rundown podcast. Coming up this week on the big show, Darren and I cover some dynamite Galaxy Quest news. Star Trek Strange New Worlds drops a teaser trailer that has us both ready to beam up. Loki Season 2 is coming this summer and hopefully bringing a jet ski with it. Finally, Jason Sparks drops a Nerd Box question about which franchise you would kill off if you could. Ready, hit it!
Hey nerds, welcome to the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple. Flying with me today is my co-pilot, Eric Hare.
Hello, everybody.
You can find us on our social medias like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all at the Nerd Rundown over here on YouTube. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when we post a new video. And then if you want, leave a Nerd Box question. We've got a couple good ones here tonight. I got to add that for you, Eric.
Yep.
It's a good one. It's from our main man, music man, Jason Sparks. So I'll get that in there before we get there. And then obviously, throwback word. You can find us in all the major podcast services. Let's hear a word about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. It's no secret here at the Nerd Rundown that we support our veterans and our first responders. We ask that you do the same thing through our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. They're a veteran-owned clothing company that donates part of their proceeds to other amazing organizations supporting these warriors and guardians. If you're a veteran, you're at a 57% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. As a veteran myself, this cause hits very close to home. This shirt and hat are some of the items available if you follow our link in the description down below to combatthechaos.com. Use the discount code NRD for 15% off and help us fight this battle that veterans and first responders so desperately need. Now, back to the rundown. Last week on the show, Eric, we talked about the expansion of the Nerd Rundown banner and what's coming. But one thing that's kind of been here for, almost basically since the beginning is the Present show, which we are going to have for you this week. I'm very excited about the topic, which is it's two movies at the same time. So you'll know what I mean by that when we get there. But as part of the relaunch, we got another new custom made intro, and it's scored so beautifully by our music man Jason Sparks, who wish he could be here tonight but unfortunately can't, so we're here to give him the massive props. It's only about 15-20 second video. We'll play it here for you and cut it in here, and you guys can take a look and then go watch it live on the Presents when we release that. So yeah, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Beretta May. First up on the rundown is a category, Eric, called Never Give Up, Never Surrender. And if you would have asked me, this time last year, if I would have put a Star Trek category first on the rundown, I would have probably laughed you off. But here we are with a couple pieces of really, really exciting Star Trek-y news, Star Trek-ish news. First up, a Galaxy Quest TV spinoff is moving forward at Paramount Plus.
Yep.
You gotta make this. You gotta tell me how this is gonna work without. Yeah,
I don't know how you make it work without Alan Rickman. But,
Alan Rickman,
and I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna get the whole cast. I don't know how this is. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I think if me personally, I think if you want to, you make the Galaxy Quest show. Maybe you don't do the movie stuff. You do like the show, and then just like the
like episode 17.
yeah. So maybe you do it that way. I'm not quite sure how they're gonna pull this off. I really don't. But I'm excited for whatever it's gonna be. I really am. Like I know I harp on them being out of ideas and stuff, and a lot of the times I'm like, oh, come on, but if I'm gonna get more Galaxy Quest somehow, I'm happy with that. So I mean, as a new Galaxy Quest fan yourself, what are your thoughts on it?
I saw this. I think it was
because it's like
Wednesday.
super fresh for you. Like it's really fresh for you.
Super. I'm like, they must have watched the rundown at some point in the last couple of months when I finally watched it. But I'm like, I think that news broke Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday midweek last week, and I was like, I hope nobody puts that in our chat, because I want to go in fresh on the takes for the rundown on this.
Yep.
And of course, the news cycle lasts about 2 hours on our chat.
Yeah, right.
So it went away quick, but very excited. I am baffled at what they're going to do. I do love that idea of, like, episode 36, the one where this dude dies, or whatever it might be. I think that's really exciting. As I've expanded my Star Trek-ness, I'm not going to go out and say I'm a fan of Star Trek yet, but I am a big fan of Strange New Worlds, which also released their teaser trailer in the past week. And
season 2.
I sat there like the kids at the Super Mario movie, like watching that teaser trailer. So what did you think of the teaser trailer?
It looks great. It looks
Fantastic.
really, really great. Yeah. Anson Mount still looks amazing. The whole cast just looks amazing. And it looks like the stakes might be like a little bit higher this season, now that we've gotten a good, we got a good thing going in that first season. And so I think we'll be able to dive deeper into the characters and stuff. Love me some Nurse Chapel, I'll tell you that much. So, not mad about that at all. I think I'm excited. I think June 15th is when it comes out, because I think it's actually Amelia's birthday. So I was like,
happy birthday.
Amelia. So happy birthday to Dad. It'll be a good day for Dad.
It's a little late Father's Day gift.
Yeah. So I think it looks really, really good. We were discussing this a little bit earlier, not directly, but they've already given. So we've got season 2 of Strange New Worlds. They've already given the green light to a season 3. So they must have really liked what they saw in this season 2 to already green light a season 3 for Strange New Worlds, which I'm excited about. Which is terrific. And coming off of the season finale last week of Star Trek Picard, its third and final season, Star Trek has a lot of good stuff going for it right now. It has a lot of really good momentum. They're talking about a new movie, a spinoff movie with Michelle Yeoh, which I think will be pretty good. We'll see how that goes. So there's a lot of momentum on the Star Trek side. I know, the houses are always divided. It's you either like Star Wars and you hate Star Trek or whatever. But, as a person who kind of straddles the fence, I enjoy both, because they're different. While they both take place in space, they're different, in a lot of different ways. And so I feel like this is like a DC Marvel type situation where, the Mandalorian came out and it kind of forced the Star Trek folks to be like, hey, we need to step up our game. Like our stuff is maybe not as good as it should be. And so they did, they really have stepped up their game. And now it's like, okay, the ball's back in Star Wars court, at this point, because because Star Trek has really raised the game, I think
Yeah.
with these, at least with these two series. So we'll see what comes next. The finale of Picard definitely set up a potential legacy type series that they could probably exploit, and then do some other stuff, kind of going into the future and everything. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Lots of good stuff. What about you? I mean, like, as Strange New Worlds is really your first kind of foray into,
Check my V card.
yeah, into Star Trekkiness.
Yeah.
What did you think of the trailer?
I was like a kid in a candy school. I'm so excited for that show.
Yeah.
And weird for me to say that about a Star Trek show, but I'm like you said, there's a lot of momentum towards Star Trek right now. And if this season is as good as the first season, why would I not want to explore more Star Trek?
Yeah. No, I agree.
The budget went up for this season.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they kept Anson Mount's hair.
I do too. I don't know how much gel goes into that. It's
probably
they
CGI.
doubled his. It might be CGI. They doubled his hair gel budget, and you'll see it. It's
beautiful.
It really
is.
A
big old waft.
It's probably green screen. It's like he probably wears a green cap on, and it's
space magic is what it is.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Also, can we not straddle the fence like that, or at least use a different analogy? I mean, that you said that, and I was like, I didn't hear what you said for about 5 seconds because that just hurt. Next on the rundown, the Godzilla versus Kong sequel got a title, and it got a teaser. So the new title is Godzilla X Kong, or I guess you could say Godzilla and Kong.
Godzilla multiplied by Kong.
Godzilla times Kong equals the new empire.
Yeah.
The teaser was kind of an animated. It wasn't necessarily any footage.
There's no live action stuff to it. Yeah.
Was that the villain we were seeing there?
I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, the blue eyes are seem to me to be, or at least I think they were blue. Being a colorblind guy, I think that
throw that dirt.
Yeah, right. I think that had more to do with maybe the Godzilla, because that's like his flame colors and stuff. So maybe there's some sort of hybrid deal going on there or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it looked cool. I showed it to Jackson the other night. I was like, hey dude, you gotta watch this, and he's like, what? When's that coming? So I'm excited.
What do you think that new empire means?
I'm not sure. Well, I guess, at the end of that movie, there was a bit of a truce between the two.
Yeah.
Between the two, it's like they had a mutual understanding of, hey, look, man, I'll tolerate you, you tolerate me, and
you go rule.
Right.
What's it called? Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
I'll rule up here.
I'll rule up here. You rule down there, and we'll be good. So maybe there's some sort of, the new empire is those two just kind of having it, the way it is, and something else comes along. Something else has to come along that's going to cause the two of them to have to probably fight each other, probably have to work together at the end, because there's no way you're going to not milk that cash cow of having the two of those together again, because they're terrific.
We better get like a Predator style.
Yeah.
Just
I want to see what other diehard nugget the guy puts into this one, because we got that diehard jumping off the aircraft carrier. That was so I got to figure out what they're gonna do next with that.
Yeah, so. That is, I mean, what's help? Oh, I told you the cat.
Yeah.
I've just totally lost my train of thought. Thanks, Ari Gold. My cat, he's as
we see the tail. See the tail, Ari's tail. He's gonna hop up there.
Yeah, he's
camera hog.
All of a sudden hop in my lap here, and then I'll sneeze to death. Let's move on
Yeah.
in the rundown.
Yeah. Got a lot to talk about here.
Yeah,
Well, at least a lot to cover, but yeah.
It feels exactly. There's a lot to cover. There's probably not a lot of words for the last pieces, but
Yeah.
As I'm putting together the rundown, I'm thinking like, what is going to be? Because I didn't have like a bunch of things pop out of my head for the last week on news items. I'm like, man, but the Jonathan Majors stuff just keeps coming up, and
yeah, unfortunately,
we covered it, and I don't want to keep covering it until there's more, but there's some things here that we'll get to, and I didn't want to put him first on the rundown because I just want to start positive with Galaxy Quest stuff, and, Godzilla and Kong and Strange New Worlds, and then even here in the MCU category on the rundown, Adam Driver looks to be set to play Reed Richards in the new Fantastic Four movie, which is, I actually think that's brilliant casting, but I wanted to see what you thought first.
I don't really have an opinion on this one way or the other, and it's not because I just don't know much about Reed Richards, so I don't know how Adam Driver's demeanor is going to be for that particular role. I strangely enough, I actually watched that 65 movie this week. That he did, and it was not great, but
dang it, that one looks. We were so excited about it,
but I didn't hate it. Like I didn't hate it. Like I didn't go, man, I wish I had that hour and a half, 2 hours back of my life. I watched it and I was like, it was kind of cool. Like you get to see. You got to see Adam Driver as a Marine, I think is really what you kind of got to see a little bit, because he is a former Marine.
Yeah.
Or I guess you're never really a former Marine. You're just
you're a Marine for life.
Yeah. I don't think you're ever a former Marine. I think you're just
maybe a former jarhead.
Yeah. And he seems like the type of guy that didn't eat the crayons. He like read that and was like, I'm not going to eat the crayons. So
I don't know. He was an ugly kid in the Marines.
Yeah.
He's gotten some Hollywood makeover.
Yeah. Well, they're generous. The makeup department and CGI stuff is pretty generous to folks. But I if we go back to the Star Wars stuff, if we go back to things that I've seen Adam Driver in, the guy is a phenomenal talent.
Yes,
acting wise, and the 65 was a fun fun film, and he did a good job because for the most part the little girl doesn't talk much.
Nice.
She doesn't say much, and there's a language barrier. Like she does not speak English, so so they're trying to communicate with each other.
Then. Yeah.
So it's interesting. Well, it's not. It's what I thought. It is what I thought it was. It is not a time travel movie. It's not anything like that. So it's what I thought. But it didn't disappoint.
Time travel movie, by the way.
What's that?
I didn't think it was a time travel movie.
No, I know, but there's no like.
It was Morg. Morg was wrong.
Yeah, Morg was wrong.
Put it on the record.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chalk it up, along with all the other times that he's been wrong. Poor guy. I feel bad. I feel bad for him.
I'm starting to. I'm really starting to feel bad for him.
But yeah, so all in all, the Reed Richards stuff. So maybe I'll pitch it back to you.
I think
because you are a Reed Richards
on.
guy. So I mean,
especially when I wear white, my gray really comes out. Like oh cow. But your Marine point is spot on because Reed, he's the smartest man alive. Okay. But he's also very brave, mainly because he's just so damn smart. Like I can't even imagine having like a speck of his smartness, please. But Adam Driver, he needs to be able to be a stoic figure.
Yeah,
and that's Reed Richards, because Reed is as classic of a hero as they get. He's one of the very first Marvel heroes there is, and he has been a cornerstone for 60 plus years. So you need an actor that can pull off the gravitas who can pull off looking and acting like the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
John Krasinski played him last year in Multiverse of Madness, and I still wouldn't be mad if it was John Krasinski. Love it. But I'm also moved past the point of being like, it can't be anybody else. And I've really tried to keep an open mind on who they're going to cast, because they usually do very well with their casting.
Yeah.
Usually. So if they're seeing something in Kylo Ren, then I trust them. So and until I see something different, they've gotten 90 out of 100 at least on their casting score. So
yeah,
they rarely miss. I think their main big miss is Brie. And
which I don't think that was their fault. I really don't. Like, I think you put Brie in that role and you expect her to be Brie, and she's not. She played that character, and then her attitude coming out of that character,
was strange.
Yeah, just
it was odd. It was at best. And she, Captain Marvel is as badass as they come in the comics. She was Miss Marvel forever.
Yeah.
She's Rogue. Rogue stole her powers, So think about how badass Rogue is. And Brie just her attitude ruined everything for me.
I think so too. Yeah.
So that's a good point. Anyway, so I'm going to trust them. Some front runners for Sue Storm have emerged. One of the main ones that has come up is Mila Kunis, which gives me Jessica Alba vibes, but not in a good way. For some reason, I don't know if they just are similar in nature.
Yeah.
Now Mila Kunis is probably a better actress. I just haven't seen Jessica Alba much in the last 15 years or so.
Yeah.
But she wasn't really lighting the acting role on fire. Looked good in a bikini, but Sue is much more powerful. Sue's much more powerful. So Mila Kunis, is that, what another name that I actually really like that I saw on that list was Vanessa Kirby. She was on The Crown. She Mission Impossible Fallout. She was the daughter of the lady from the first movie.
Yeah.
Not Charlie. Anyway, blonde. Really, really pretty. I think she'd do it great, Sue Storm, along with Adam Driver.
Yeah. Well, I like the other one I thought on the list was good, but is Jodie Comer, I think is how you say her last name. So
Comer.
Yeah, I loved her in Free Guy. I thought she was terrific. She played a super intelligent coder and stuff. I bought her as that, and then I also bought her as a badass too. And I was like, that was actually hard to pull off. But she was, I don't know. I just I liked her in Free Guy. I really did. So, but I'm a Mila Kunis fan too. She's got a lot more range than I think than Jessica Alba did, for sure.
For sure. Yeah,
I've seen her do some pretty dramatic stuff, and she's, she kind of gets I wouldn't say typecast, but her the 70s show character that she had kind of looms over top of her a little bit, I think, for a lot of people. But I think if she was to come out in this role, I think it'd be pretty awesome. So, I love her in Date Night, her and James Franco in Date Night together.
Date Night is good.
So great. So great.
what movie we'll be talking about later with Justin Timberlake, and I can't remember if it's No Strings Attached or the other
Just
one,
Friends.
Just Friends.
I think it's Just Friends. Maybe not.
Or,
Anyhow, she is in
we'll
that
talk
one.
about it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good in that one with JT.
Yeah.
I mean, JT probably makes her as good as she is. He makes everybody better.
Well, but that was pretty early in his acting chops. I want to say it was like his second or third movie. So it wasn't like he was like,
yeah, it wasn't early on.
Mila kind of carried that and just let him be himself, but
has Mila done anything big outside of that 70s show? She hasn't, has she?
Well, she did you watch Black Swan? Because she was in that Black Swan, and oh my gosh, man, like she was really great in Black Swan. And
Okay.
I think I couldn't watch I tried watching Jupiter Ascending because she was in that, but
that's right. Okay, with Channing Tatum, right?
Yeah, and
that's what I was thinking.
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's one of the
I couldn't do it. She was really good in the Book of Eli. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, that's right.
So she's done.
Denzel.
Yeah, she's done some. Like I said, she's done some good stuff, but I think her, I guess everybody just remembers her from that 70s show, and I think that kind of holds her back, and I think that's a shame because she has done some really good dramatic work. At least
it's gonna be.
I do love her in Bad Moms too. You can't go wrong with her in the Bad Moms.
Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be a hard sell for Sue Storm with Mila Kunis, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so the next two items, which are probably very much linked or maybe not linked at all, I think is one end of the spectrum or the other on this. You tell me. But Loki season 2 has now been pushed up to the middle of 2023 from later on in the year. It was supposed to originally debut in like August or September, but now we might be seeing it on Disney Plus this summer, which give me more Loki as soon as you can, because I love that show. It's still the most watched Marvel show on Disney Plus of the Disney Plus series.
Yeah.
But and the other piece of this is last week, Jonathan Majors was in the news a few times where he keeps getting dropped from projects. In fact, the MCU is about the only thing that hasn't dropped him, and they haven't even said a word about it yet. So
projects and representation. My understanding is that his agent dropped him. As well. So, I mean,
that's not a good look.
It's not a good look, but at the end of the day, he didn't break in anybody's place. He didn't kidnap a person and keep them held up in a Vermont cabin somewhere. He didn't throw a chair at somebody in a bar. And that dude's still DC's like favorite thing, Ezra Miller, if we're going to kind of compare stuff. Like, I think
I don't know if they need the allegations
that Ezra Miller is facing, he's managed to wiggle and worm his way out of, doing all that stuff. So again, allegedly all this stuff, he's, kind of going through some different things or whatever, but not to belittle what happened with Jonathan Majors, but I don't, I don't know. Like I've seen other people survive worse allegations and stuff and manage to hold on to their stuff, hold on to their career and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see, I mean, we'll see what kind of deal, if anything, if it turns out he's exonerated, great. That's, honestly, that's what I'm kind of hoping for, is that he's exonerated.
Absolutely.
And, or if it is what he's being accused of, then we'll see how the justice will be served in that case. So honestly, I just want the truth to come out, and I just want, everybody to be made whole, I guess, or whatever needs to happen, have that happen. So
Yeah.
for me at this point, I think Marvel is playing it cool. They really are. I think they're playing it cool because I don't think they really need to do anything just yet. And so I think they're kind of hoping that this gets all this stuff worked through the system. If he's going to get arraigned, if he's going to get, how they're going to do this, if their DA is going to make a deal or whatever, so, I don't know how this is going to, so I think Marvel is probably playing it straight, and just kind of see where this leads and then kind of go from there. As far as the news of Loki, awesome, man. I'm really excited because I think we were looking at maybe September, October timeframe is when we expected to see season 2 of Loki come up. So to have them move it up into the middle of summer, I think is going to be good. Because I don't think I wonder if this is going to be because of other things that maybe haven't panned out quite as well for them. I'm not sure. If they
Secret
had
Invasion was supposed to premiere in June,
Yeah. So is it
Do
still?
they want to? It has been no word about that moving at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they need to keep people subscribed, during that time period or whatever. So I'm not quite sure. But to me, this feels like good news for them. If they're moving it up in the time frame, I think that feels better to me. I don't know. How about you?
It can go one way or the other. I think either they are like Marvel's like, we got to move this up and help out Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Maybe they do like double, use the
momentum.
Yeah. The old Seinfeld lead in or the Friends lead in, the premiere spot, and hopefully lead to more viewers for that. But it also could mean they're panicking a little bit. Maybe, hopefully they're not. It's really hard to tell because they have said nothing.
Yeah.
and you know what? Kevin Feige, he's not going to say a dang thing.
Yeah.
In fact, if this if it gets moved up and there still is no resolution to this, he'll go to that red carpet and he's going to be like, we're still going. Why we're not going to let him go until we think he's going to be.
We know one way or the other. Yeah.
Now that is a very brazen move if it turns out to be not that, but
yeah,
Kevin Feige doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to slip up on this kind of allegation stuff. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll keep an eye on it for you. Next on the rundown, after the news about Harry Potter being rebooted to TV, we've got the newest franchise to come along, and I was really hoping Morg would be on because I know he's such a big fan of the Twilight franchise, as that's the newest set
he's
of.
Read all the books. He's read all the books. He's
set of books. That's
he's a Team Edward guy, I think. So
he seems like a Team Edward guy. Vampires all the way.
Yeah, I think he's more vampire than. Whatever.
Is there something here that could be good, or is this like a franchise that will always be for 12-year-old girls?
I don't think so. There was a lot of. I'll just put it to you this way. My wife is not a reader. My wife read Twilight, so she doesn't read anything. She reads magazines and stuff like that, but she's not really much of a book reader. So, but she did read Twilight and she did like it. So,
okay.
So I don't think so. I think in all honesty, at this point, I am a firm believer and I'm sold on the 10 episode season for books. I really am. Game of Thrones really was a game changer for me in that respect, in that you could throw, several $100 million at a thing and people were like, heck yeah, I'll watch that, and it makes sense. I mean, it's smart. So, you get however much it's going to be for the subscription every single month, and you stretch that out over 3 months. That's a lot more money than, if you got people to go sit in a movie theater for $10 a ticket, it's like, hey, I've got them for 3 months, and I'm, that's $30 or whatever. So
Right.
I don't know. And most people, once they subscribed, they don't unsubscribe. It's too much of a pain, so you get them for a whole year, and they're all subscribed for one show. Like all they watch is the one show, or maybe they watch 2 or whatever, but you got them for the whole year. So, I'm a believer in the 10 episode, type thing where they do 8 to 10 episodes per book, and you can really tell a good story over that time period. I think you can really tell the book accurately and not skip over too much. So I have a feeling this will probably do pretty well, because I mean, True Blood was crazy. Like there was a phenomenon around vampires, and I think
Vampire Diaries.
I think there's been enough time, because it seemed like there was like vampire everything for a while, and then
it was because of Twilight, I'd say.
And it was because of Twilight. Twilight's what kicked that off. And
Renfield's coming back.
Yeah, right. It's been, and I think it's probably been enough time since we've gone through that vampire craze. I think it's probably been 6-7 years, maybe a little bit more, since all that stuff is kind of calmed down. Yeah. So maybe it's time to dip back into the well, because I mean, still, it's going to be a couple of years before those things hit the screen anyhow. So
yeah, it's not like it's coming to HBO Max next year. So actually, that's another thing, is that now it's just Max.
It is just Max. Yeah, that was made. They announced that a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Don't worry about that HBO brand.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I think they were worried about how that was going to go, I guess, or whatever, because people were associating HBO with like just adult stuff, and they don't want to just have like adult things on there. They want to be able to hit kids and stuff like that, have entertainment properties for kids and all that other stuff. Whereas HBO was just kind of like, hey, we're just about movies and about like adult series, and so that's a little bit different, I think, than what they had kind of in mind. So yeah, Max.
I mean, I liked HBO Max. That was fine.
That
was a good name.
Yeah. So Twilight Breaking Dawn was 2012.
Oh wow,
so it's been 10 years since that series.
I wonder what True Blood and Vampire Diaries, I feel like, went a little bit longer than that.
They did. I think they came along a little bit after, and Me Too type thing. I'm also a vampire, and it's very interesting, that type of thing. Let me see. I'll pull up True Blood and find out where 2008 was when True Blood premiered.
And it was 10 seasons, I think.
And then it was, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch an episode of True Blood, so I don't.
7
I'm
seasons.
speaking 7 seasons.
7 seasons, yeah.
10 seasons. Come on. Okay, so that was probably like the end of the vampire craze, and by the time this comes out, it'll probably be about 10 years since the end of the vampire craze. So maybe it's ready for a new dawn. Get it?
Well done. Well played, sir.
Trailer Train. First up on the Trailer Train. A waste of a 2 minutes. This movie. I mean, the only redeeming quality I can see in it is Jason Statham, but Fast X. It just looks. I mean, it's just gotten to be. How are people finding this entertaining, Eric? That's my question.
How they ever did, I don't understand. But they all love their family, and that's really what it comes down to. So
I get
they even made Jason Momoa look terrible, and I was like, gosh, it's hard. It's hard to do, But even in this case, it's like, well, mission accomplished.
I mean, he looks like a doofus in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like they did say, just go film Jason Momoa doing Jason Momoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I don't know. But you know what? At least they kind of get back to street racing in this one.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Moving on from Fast X, just wiping that one back away. Our buddy Bill Poor is going to be really happy to hear that his true love, Sydney Sweeney, is in a new HBO Max or Max, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
TV show called Reality,
Mhm.
and getting very good early reviews. Did this interest you at all, Eric, other than Sydney Sweeney?
I'm not as big of a Sydney Sweeney person as
No one is as big as Bill. You know,
yeah.
I like her, but
yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything because I don't think I've ever watched anything that she's in. So, but maybe I have, and I just don't know it. But yeah,
yeah,
I think it's gonna be a movie. Is it a series or is it a movie? I can't.
it's a series.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, I don't really think so because it's all about the 2016 election and the Russian. I'm just tired of that stuff. I really am. I'm tired of talking about the 2016 election. I'm tired of talking about the 2020 election. I'm just like, let's just move on. So, but they make her look very plain. I've seen her look very much more dolled up in other stuff, just
it's a movie
previews and stuff like that. But they've got her very played down, I guess, as far as the way she looks and stuff like that. So
that looks good.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
It is a movie. Yeah, May 29th. I see that. Yeah. So
okay, so next on the trailer train and last on the train,
yeah,
we got a trailer for a reboot.
Yeah.
White Men Can't Jump. You want to hear my thoughts?
Yep. I don't know, man. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, it's you're gonna remake. It's a Hulu product. Hulu has surprised me with some of their stuff. Again, we're looking at a movie. This is not a series. It's gonna be a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah.
How do you do better than Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes? And what's her name? Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I watched this trailer and I was like, the both the dudes look good enough, like they look good enough. But I'm like, the person who's got the biggest shoes to fill is I think it's Tiana Taylor, is who that is, but I'm not sure if it's her or Laura Harrier. But
not a lot of big names in this.
No, I think it's the Tiana Taylor. She's the one that is going to have to fill the Rosie Perez shoes. And that's the tough one. I think that's going to be the most challenging because, man, Rosie Perez played the heck out of that role in White Man Can't Jump. Like, she was so good in that movie. And so I don't know. It's been 20, 30 years since that movie came out. So if you want to remake it, go ahead and remake it. I didn't find it as funny, at least the trailer. I didn't find it as funny as I
did. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was as funny as what I've seen in the first movie. I mean, I watched White Man Can't Jump.
Oh gosh,
dozens of times.
It's going to be a different kind of humor for a different kind of age.
Yeah,
but also, I thought the trailer was like, it made me laugh out loud. A lot. However, no interest in seeing this. Like, I feel like I will have now seen all the funny parts, just like I have seen all the good parts in Fast X. What else are you going to show me in that movie that's going to make me be like, well, they've already been in space.
I know.
That's the thing. Is
more space.
More space. They're going to go deeper space.
I've been to the edge of space. All I saw was more space.
Is the universe expands? Anyway, it's that's the question every studio executive should be asking when somebody comes and is like, I got this idea. Why don't we do a new White Man Can't Jump? And the studio exec says, are you going to be able to do better than Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes and Rosie Perez?
Right.
And then the guy goes, no. And the guy goes, should go, get out of my office.
Yeah.
Like, it should be that quick.
With something new, man. Like, come up with, like another, I mean, you could play off of it, it's like White Man Can't Jump, but it's different. Otherwise, it's it's not going to be a shot for shot remake, but
Or
I mean, they're
don't
already,
do,
yeah.
it's just come up with some. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of original material to work with when it comes to basketball, unless I can't even think, do like a contact. They should do a movie about that trampoline basketball. Have you seen that?
No.
that I'd go watch.
Yeah.
Let's move to the nerd box. It's a Jason Sparks kind of episode where Jason Sparks has submitted a nerd box question.
Yikes.
Again,
it's going to be easy. It's an easy answer for me. One we've just talked about. Easy.
He writes in. Actually, before he writes in, let's give him another shout out, as he has scored our main theme. He has scored the intro. He has scored the presents intro, which if you did not catch earlier, go back, watch it. If you don't want to watch it there and you want to watch it the first time on the presents, then do that. But man, the guy is talented, and so is his bandmate Joey. They make a great duo, and we are forever grateful for them. So thank you.
Yep.
All right. So his nerd box question is: if you could get rid of one franchise, such as Star Wars, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, which one would you eliminate? I mean, you know my answer on this one.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Bye, Harry. I haven't even seen you. Like, I'm going to get rid of Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Well, there's plenty of other franchises out there that you could go after. You don't have to go after the ones that he labeled. Like Harry Potter. Come on, man. Like there's billions of people love. Well, right now there's a lot of people that don't like it because of who.
Because of JK.
Yeah, the JK stuff or whatever. But
I'll throw in his other question too. He's like, go with the second one. I'm kind of like the first one because it's so unique. He says, "What's your favorite mobile game?" And I don't know if he means of all time or if like current favorite mobile game.
The only one I'm not much of a mobile gamer. I think if I were to go back, we had an Atari Lynx video game system, and there was this game called California Games, and they had it was multiple different games, so you could do like skateboarding, and then they had a surfing one, and man, I loved the surfing on California Games. It was really really fun. It was really really fun. I had a great time. Yeah, that's probably.
You do a surfing game fun. Like, I guess, it's just like it feel really repetitive, but
yeah. And to go back to the series that needs to die, I would say that the Fast and Furious, that franchise.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That franchise is one that.
Oh, you know what? He does say such as, so it doesn't have to be those three.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot out there that you could kind of you could be like I got another one that. This is this is old school series that I watched the first one, and then after that I was like, this whole thing needs to die. Like, I loved the first movie, but then they kept making more, and I was like, oh, please just stop. But the American Ninja series that was like in the 80s and 90s, they made like I don't know, 5 American Ninja movies, and I was like, this
Did they
is
really?
it was terrible, man. It was just terrible.
How do you make a movie out of that?
The American Ninja? No, this is like before like American Ninja Warrior. Like, this is like, I'm going like old school American Ninja. It's with here, let's see, American Ninja.
It was an underrated ninja movie, is Three Ninjas.
Michael Dudikoff is from 1985. So
I don't know if I've ever seen this.
The first movie was cool. It was like, all the old school 80s.
I'll have to watch that, and you're gonna have to watch The Barbarians.
The Barbarians, yeah.
You have to watch that.
But then they made like a ton of those American Ninja, like Confrontation, Annihilation. They just kept making them, man, and I was like, dude, this needs to die.
Yeah, but is it one of those ones that has like a different lead? guy every time.
Yeah.
Like
well,
the kickboxer movies.
Yeah, the first two movies were Dudikoff, and then he did do the third one, but then he came back for the fourth, or whatever. And I think there was a fifth one too. And I'm like, oh my God, please stop. Yeah.
I've been playing a mobile game since 2018. It's called Bricks and Balls.
Oh, really?
And I'm on level like 1200. And I've told myself I'm done with this game. I'm gonna stop. But it is one of the ultimate, like, you're just brain, like something, I'll watch YouTube at nighttime and I'll just maybe even just throw it on, and then I'll get on my phone and I'll double screen it where I'm like playing a video game and watching YouTube at the same time. A little ridiculous if you ask me, but at least I'm not playing like Animal Farm or whatever those games are called. My all-time favorite game though was Injustice was released on as a mobile game. DC's Injustice.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I played the ever-living hell out of that game. That game was fun. It was one of those games that was so hard. You don't get that in games anymore. It's like I remember fighting Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
It was like fighting a demon. You couldn't beat him until you finally you get daily rewards and you get enough reward to like get a power up and you finally can fight him, and it's just like now I gotta go do that 10 more times against 10 more dudes. But that was a fun game. If that's what he means by mobile game, unless he means like, your Game Boy or
that's what I was thinking. Like you could go back to like the old school Game Boy with like the Tetris. I mean, that was like the game.
Yeah.
That came with like that launched the Game Boy. Was Tetris. That was a blast, man. I haven't watched that movie yet. Have you watched that movie?
Yeah, I was going to just ask it. Because it's a movie, right?
Is it out? Did it come out? I thought it was.
I don't think it's out, but what did come out that's getting good reviews, especially from number one fan of the show, Denise Stemple, is Ghosted. And that is, so I have a few movies that I need to watch. The Last Kingdom movie, Ghosted, and then there was another one, I feel like. So Banana and I have some movies to catch up on. We've just been very busy on the weekends. I haven't had time for
I was reading some stuff. They talked about Chris Evans. They really made sure to make during that Ghosted was that they didn't want his superhero side to come out. Like he really had to kind of watch himself with how he played that character, because like the Captain America in him wanted to come out, I think.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It's like when Tom Holland went from filming Uncharted to Spider-Man No Way Home. They're like, dude, you got to stop walking like you're Nathan Drake and start walking like you're Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. Okay, well that's a maybe the shortest rundown we've had in a long time. So
yeah,
it wasn't a big week. I'm really super excited for Galaxy Quest and Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
The rest of it can just, Godzilla versus Kong or Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah.
Godzilla
we didn't really see anything from
X
that,
and
but,
Kong.
but I'm.
Yeah. That last image though of that teaser trailer also looked like it was like it was both Kong and Godzilla.
That's what I was thinking, was some sort of hybrid of them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the Kong face looked not the same, and then it had the eye. It had like the blue eyes,
the blue
of,
flame,
flame eyes like Godzilla. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I think it's that director and Andrew Weingarten. I think is that Weintraub.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Something like that. He's an up and comer, so looking forward to seeing what he can bring with that.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. We're gonna have a presents for you all this week. It's called Two Movies at the Same Time, and sometimes Hollywood is dumb, and they release two movies that are very similar in the same year.
Yeah.
we're gonna go talk about all those times that they did that, and maybe give. I think there's a clear winner as to the set of movies that might be the best, but there's a few surprise ones in there. So
yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll see you all next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.